Nationalists in Ukraine protest outside parliament, demanding the resignation of the interior minister for the shooting death of one of their more militant leaders. Ukraine's self-defense forces, formed during recent anti-government protests, lined up to prevent provocation as a vote to remove the minister was cancelled. But Right Sector East political head Kyiv says they only want justice.
Our task is to maintain calm and not to make the Russian government see the situation in Ukraine as out of control. The Right Sector is on the side of law in all our actions.
But many here disagree and worry the ultra-nationalist groups could become violent if they are not soon integrated into Ukraine's defense forces and politics. This would play into the hands of the Kremlin, says Vasyl Korus, a Ukrainian Orthodox priest.
Yesterday we were praying that all of this will not give any advantage to Putin, because we know and we understand that if they act aggressively, this will be an advantage for Putin.
The radicals were on the front lines of clashes with riot police that ended with Moscow-backed President Viktor Yanukovych fleeing to Russia. They are still camped out in Kyiv's central square because they do not quite trust Ukraine's interim government. Ukrainian parliamentarian Inna Bogoslovska says the feeling is mutual.
The right sector has a huge responsibility because if they want to become a political party, and this is the right thing to do, the first thing is make sure there is nothing that can be used to pull their strings. They have to be sure nobody can influence them and that there are no provocateurs and criminals.
Nationalists, including the right sector, are already joining Ukraine's defense forces. But in a recent interview with VOA, right sector leader and presidential candidate Dmitry Yarosh says they have no intention of disarming.
Regarding the arms, let's not forget the dangers that the Ukrainian people now face. That is, outside aggression, as well as a completely unreformed Ministry of Internal Affairs that has already distinguished itself with kidnappings and terror campaigns against its own people.
Recent polls show the radical groups have very little public support, and some worry come election time that they may demand more for their sacrifices. Some of Ukraine's revolutionary fighters could become a dangerous liability. Daniel Schearf, VOA News, Kyiv.